Good morning from Vietnam. Good morning to you, Claudia. Thanks a lot for spending your morning joining our program, and also happiness to get into expert conversation from your beautiful country. And on behalf of our global listeners, we want to say thank you to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for reaching out. And I'm feel honored and I'm pleased to be part of the program. And yeah, super excited for this.
Hey, and this week is very exciting week for the Asian community and then for your country when your country has been becoming the 11th member of the Asian, and congratulations. There's a lot of hard work from a lot of people from your country, you included, to make it happen, and we're just gonna say congratulations, okay?
Thank you. We're super excited, and it's been like a line celebrations here in Timor-Leste, and we're excited for the opportunities that will be presented by ASEAN, and we love to go explore any potential collaborations with you, with people in Vietnam and other countries as well. So we're super excited for this. So as a young country, it's been a long journey. We've been we started the process 14 years ago, and now finally, like last week, it's a huge celebration here in
And
Timor-Leste. Yeah.
worth all the trying, worth all the effort, worth all the work and commitment for a lot of people, right? And so this conversation is to share experts invoice from the country, Timor-Leste, right? And I think that in December when you come here, I would love to see you in person and have a cup of coffee together. That would be beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and
I'll be.
yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, it's quite late. Oh yeah, I'll be in December. I'd love to catch up, and we can explore something, and we can do together. Like I think start with this conversation, and I'd love to visit. I've been wanting to visit Ho Chi Minh City for a while now. Finally in December I'll come over for Christmas holiday. Yeah.
yeah, and I would love to see your Vietnamese friends here also. And I would love to
Mhm.
introduce you to my family and our friends here. And since you came to Vietnam, you have friends from Vietnam. You know our culture is very honored for us and for our audience. If we can have you to share a little bit about who Claudia is and what is it that she's doing, would you please do that honor for us?
Yeah, sure. I'm Claudia Ximenes. I'm based in Timor-Leste. Basically, uh, my background, I'll tell a little bit about my background. So I grew up, right now I'm based here in Delhi, the capital of Timor-Leste, but I'm originally from other cities, the east side of Timor-Leste, called Bokal municipality. So I grew up there, and I moved to Delhi for high school with my family, and after that I went to Bangkok for my undergrad to do my. So I was doing biotechnology in the Assumption University in Bangkok, and I came back. Yeah, I know that you've heard a lot in Timor-Leste. We are still, developing. We are trying to build the economy of the nation because we just got independence in 20 years. So there are a lot of work needs to be done. So I came back from my uni year after graduating. I came back. I saw a lot of struggling, a lot of uh, farmers that they cannot sell their products, their produces, their special fruits to the consumer. There is no market. They meanwhile being importing a lot of consumer products from other country. So that is why I started my journey in the business. So I found a company focus on it's a manufacturing company. So it's quite surprising for you that I would say that That's the first juice manufacturing company here in Timor-Leste. So I found it like 4 years ago. So I was like, it has to be like, I wish that this company already existed. It's already founded like years ago so that they can help more farmers. But we just established a very first like just manufacturing company 4 years ago. And we've been working with a lot of farmers to, we produce for like the fruits from them, and then we produce into juice. So that not only that, to uh, to help to substitute the imported products, but also to help these farmers. So I mean, like as of now, we've been working with more than 200 groups of farmers, around the country.
Yeah.
So they sell our products to us. And before that, they don't have. So now they scale up their production capacity because there is a market. Before there is no market, and after in a food and beverage industry for a while, I noticed that there is a gap in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We don't really have support. So when I started my entrepreneurial journey, it was really hard to access to the capital. It was really hard to access to the resources that can help my business to scale. So it was available, but like it's not that. I would say it was like a project based. It was international development program. But after that program done, and all the support will be gone as well. So, and that's why after I experienced those challenges in my entrepreneurial journey, and I started to uh, think that design a program. What if like we create like entrepreneurial ecosystem that can help like people like me? Like I believe there are a lot of young entrepreneurs out there that want to start a business, but since there is no support, that is why they cannot. They just hold back their dreams. So that's why we launched just recently, I think at the end of the year, last year, like around December last year, we launched Timor-Leste Innovation Hub. This businesses aim to support to create entrepreneurial startup ecosystem where we can support businesses, like young entrepreneurs, to come up with more innovative businesses, like to boost the innovation here in Timor-Leste. Timor-Leste, we are really highly dependent on the like our GDP is it's highly dependent on the oil and gas revenue. So like we've been talking, yeah, oil and gas. But we've been talking about to diversify our economy, but I think like uh, we talk about that, but the actions is not really there. So that's why I think like in order to really diversify our economy, to not to reduce dependency to the oil and gas revenue, then there is to be like innovations there. And then that's why we create the Timor-Leste Innovation Hub as innovation entrepreneurship, as innovation startup ecosystem to support and boost the growth of startup innovation here in Timor-Leste. So we come up with the three pillars. So, our vision, my vision for the Timor-Leste Innovation Hub is to have the businesses to access to the resources that they need, the training, the services that they need to support their businesses, to access to the capital, not only that, but also access to the R&D facilities to refine their products and businesses. So that is what I envision in Timor-Leste Innovation, because that's what I experienced. Those are the challenges that I experienced when I started my first venture, my first business. It was really hard to access to the capital. It was really hard to access to the services, business development services that I need. It was really hard. Not only that, I want to find my product. I cannot access to any R&D facilities around Timor-Leste. It's not really available here in Timor to support the businesses. So that's why Timor-Leste Innovation Hub, we want to bring together this expertise, not only here in Timor-Leste, but also to other from other countries like R&D or like investors from other countries to come and then build this ecosystem to support the innovation ecosystem in Timor-Leste. Yeah, that is pretty much like what we're doing, what I'm doing here in Timor. Yeah.
Wow. When I listen to your stories, I found a keyword. Okay, I'm trying to find keyword that describe it. And I think the keyword that I like to share is the keywords of noticing, okay, observing. So you observe the challenging along the way for farmers in your country. There's a lot of challenging back then, and I think this the challenge for farmers existing in our countries in this region a lot, right? And then from there, you build a first company that help farmers and group of farmers to get their products and process it and get better in their life and then get more leveraging power. I think if I put it that way, through your entrepreneurship, you notice the challenges that you've been facing, having with, and such challenges would happen to also people who running startups, running business in your own country also. So that's why you build the innovation hub that help them to get access to knowledge, access to R&D, access to capital, access to trainings and help and support so that they're not alone in that journey. So Claudia, that is very beautiful journey and I congratulate you. I admire you for doing that. All right, and this conversation is for the people to know deeper at the core of Claudia, of why going through all that, hard works to help people to accelerate. So let's travel time. How does that sound to you? How does time travel sound to you?
I'm sorry?
I say, how does time travel sound to you? We want to travel time with you. How does that sound?
No.
All right.
Interesting.
I'll lead the way. All right. I grew up in a small city called Da Nang City. So it's in the middle of Vietnam. So Ho Chi Minh City here, Hanoi here, and my hometown is the middle. Okay. Small city, and that's the it got bombed a lot during the wars here. So it got destroyed when we were little. So small city, poor community, and I was born in very poor family also back then. So one night we had electricity, so I can see things around. The next night or so, we did not have electricity, so I couldn't see anything much outside of my house, right? And my first dream about the work that I want to do so bad is to becoming an astronaut and flying to the moon. I want to see how bright it is up there, but life did not give me any opportunity to do that, Claudia, and so it took me to a very different path. It said that along that path, I interviewed a lot of astronauts. One of them actually came to the moon himself and walked on the moon himself. So for Claudia, when she was little, what was her dream about the future that Claudia want to become?
That is very interesting. I'd love to tell the story. I think one was little. I just mentioned I grew up I moved to Delhi when I was in high school. With my family, we moved here. But I think I was there for the middle school and the elementary school. I was in Delhi first, and I moved because there was a civil war around like 2006. At that time, I was still in the elementary school, fourth grade, and for third grade, and I was in Delhi, and we moved to our hometown. And then we were, I was there and I grew up, I pretty much like kind of, I have like a very vivid memory when I was in the local. At that time, I think that my dream was, I look up to like some of, because I grew, we were quite, I grew up in a, like our family is like, I have like 8 siblings. It's not a lot here in Timor. So pretty much I grew up with all boys. Like I have 8 siblings, just one sister. Like 7 boys and one sister.
Uh,
7 brothers and one sister. So pretty much I play with them. But at that time, my older brother, he already works in the like geologist. I really like look up to him. He was working for the kind of like oil and gas company here in Timor-Leste. So I was really looking up to him. So one day, but my dad is. I grew up in a business environment for quite some times because my dad is a businessman as well. He's doing like retail and those things. So he's quite tough. Um, I still remember when I was in the ninth grade of not in the middle school, ninth grade. So it was like the last year of the middle
middle
school
school.
before you transfer to the high school, right? So I still remember one day my dad came from his work, and I was watching TV because my dad is very strict, and I was watching TV, and my dad was like, uh, but he's very, very strict. Like he's like, you have to. This time has to be. It's a study time. You go, you have to study, and then because he's very strict, it's quite harsh. He said that, if you don't study, you're not gonna have money. Like in 10 years time. At that time, I was 13. So in 10 years, I mean like 23. In 10 years time, I'm not going to provide what you have right now. You have to own it. You have to, you have to be independent to have your own it. So as a 13-year-old kid, I was very afraid of that. So I went back to my room, and I was like, so it means in 10 years I have to have my own money. How to have my own money? I have to work. So since I looked up to my brother, and in order to have my own money to work, I want to work in an oil and gas company, like my brother, my older brother. So I was really want to become a geologist back then. So it means
You want to become a what?
Geologist.
A geologist.
Yes. So I was like, because like, and then in my mind, like as a 13-year-old kid, I started to do my own theory of change, like setting my own goals. So it means like in 10 years, I have to have my own money. It means I have to work, but I have to work in an oil and gas company. In order to work in an oil and gas company, I have to study, I have to become geologist. In order to become geologist, I have to study geology. At that time, we in University in Timor-Leste, we don't have a geology faculty here in Timor-Leste. It means I have to travel abroad in order to study geology. And then I was like, and in order to travel abroad, study abroad, I have to have scholarship. So I started to do this goal setting the 13-year-old in 13 year as a 13-year-old girl. So in order to travel abroad to study geology, I have to get scholarship. So in order to get that scholarship, I have to go to the best high school in the country. So that I have to have get to that. At that time, I was in my last term in middle school to transfer to the high school. So I was like, in order to get into the best high school, it means that I have to study now. So I was kind of like a planner since I was very, very young because of my dad was very strict. So I did it. So, and that's why the motivation came from that, really came from that. So I went to my room, study. So my goal is to, in 10 years, I have to have my own money. So I studied, and I went to, in high school, I moved to Delhi, went to one of the top high school in the country as just my dream. And then after that, I studied geology. And then And after like graduated from my school, I studied geology. But when I entered to I did like in the undergrad, I did geology. I was like, no, I think I can do more than this. It's quite in
Mm.
the box. I was no, I think like I have to do something else. So in the second year of my study, I changed my subject. I like went for biotechnology instead. So yeah, that's the journey. Like I think like I was a young girl, but it was I was a planner since very young. So yeah. I
Oh,
believe that whatever you want to achieve in 10 years, you have to start somewhere now.
wow, wow. You know what? I heard about the 10-year plan uh, 3 years ago. So I interviewed a very accomplished HR leader in my country, and
Mhm.
she's the CHRO for Asian company called AIA here, and uh, and she told me about 10-year plan, and that her boss asked her 20 years ago, like, hey, Lynn, what is the 10-year plan? What's your plan for 10 years, right? And I was like, wow, I see 3 years, I see 5 years, I see 1 year, and like even next month is already hard enough, right now 10 years, and then
Yeah.
and then she told me that. Then a week later, I interviewed a gentleman. So he's from the US. He spent a large portion of his time in Europe, right? And he's the author of the book 10-Year Plan, because he and his
Oh.
friend, yes, build a 10-year plan that they want to build a business and scale it up to $100 million, right? And they did a 10 years plan, and by the year 10, they accomplished that. They sold the business for 100 million, and he wrote the book, very famous one, and his name is David Tressler, right? And now today you also tell me about 10-year plan. We would love to hear it from you. The 10 years plan uh, at the 13 years old girl, right?
Mhm.
When her father told her that, hey, you need to have a future, you need to study, and then something that busted in that Claudia's head back then, to think about the future, to worry about the future, to find solution, to come up with plan. And now you tell about 10-year plan. Start today. Explain first a little bit more with you.
I'm sorry.
Share with us a little bit more about, if we want to have a 10 years goal accomplished, then we have to start today. Share with us more about that. What do you think about that?
Oh, I mean, like, for I'm sorry, you're asking about my 10 years plan in the next 10 years, or like
Back then, when you were 13 and you think about your future, and then the 10 years plan, you create a plan in very detail, what needs to be done, study what, go to the best year school in high school, then get
yeah,
scholarship, and it's very, very well organized in the 13 years old mind, right?
yeah.
And how did you come up with that 10 years plan like that? It's very comprehensive.
I think it's oh, that's very interesting. I was surprised as well. So when I look back, I was like, that 10 years old, like that's 13 years old. Like it's quite. I think it's because at first I was like, I have to create this plan or else I'm not going to survive in 10 years, because my dad was like already, threatening me to not provide anything when I was like in 10 years. So I have to like, I have my own backup plan in 10 years. I have to become what. But I think like it's one of the things is probably I grew up in a family that I think my dad served as a military. He's very well organized. He's like whatever you want to do in a week, you have to do it. So every time, like when I still remember when I was still in a elementary school, or in a middle school. My dad, like everything before you begin your week, you will come and talk to him whatever you want to learn like this week, and what
Wow.
are the subjects that you're gonna learn, and then after that you'll tell me after like 1 week, after like the end of the week, you'll come back like you really like, oh really, you really like, it's like a weekly plan that my dad will like create that to us, because like it's quite hard, like so it's like raising 9 kids in a household. I think like he has to use like some of the military tricks for
Mhm.
us in order, because like he didn't like that soft. It's kind of like it's not soft dad, but I'm glad that he was that strict for us, because he really like raised us to become a planner.
Mm.
Every week we have our own plan, even though like in school. So I think like it's because of the habit that like when I grew up in that's why when he said that in 10 years I'm not gonna provide it, automatically I have to have my own plan.
Wow.
So yeah.
You see, Claudia, it's beautiful as a role model. Your father, like guiding you throughout your life, right? It's so beautiful seeing him at the beginning of the week asking all of the his children to come up with the week plan of what they want to accomplish, what they want to learn. Then at the end of the week, right, he has a session with each of you to double check between your plan and what you execute. So that's helping you, and I think your other brothers, and also having the skill set of planning your day, planning your week, thinking ahead, and that's very important. So he's a very like wise gentleman coming, and I really admire that gentleman in the way that he processes thinking and leading the family, and leading from the family that building what you do today. That is very important. But we haven't talked much about your mother. If you can think about a piece of advice or wisdom that maybe your mother has been having on your life, so maybe we want to hear from that also.
I think it's quite it's a little bit emotional when I talk about my mother, because my mom just passed away 6 years ago when I
Oh,
was in Thailand. Uh, she's being a very good helper of my dad. They're a very good partner, like along the way, like raising 9 kids in a country like Timor-Leste, and in a area like where I'm from in Bokal. It was really hard, and I think like the post conflict, like we all after like 1999 when Indonesia like left, everything is like we have to start everything from zero. So my mom was very, I think one of the everyone said, like a lot of people would ask me who's your role model, woman role model. I would say my mom.
oh,
She was very, very, very strong during those tough time, and she was able to raise 9 kids. That is, send all of them to the universities in a country like Timor-Leste is quite hard, and she and my dad did it. And my mom side, my dad is like a little bit strict because like he served in the military back then, but my mom is in a soft way. So she's very religious. She comes from a religious background, a family. So my dad will like discipline us in the education side, but my mom will bring the other soft side to us. So it's not that you're not going to, yes, you have to be tough in order to pursue your goals, but at the same time, you have like she introduced the softness, the human side to us as well. So it was I think that it was great combinations to raise the children, like 9 children like us, and yeah, so she's strict as well, but in a soft way. She will come and remind us to do our homework, to guide us, to not only that, not only to do like in terms of to pursue our education, but also like to introduce some of the life lessons like since we were still young. I still remember, I think that before the Indonesian left, my dad served in the Indonesian military, and after that, he joined the resistance force, the the resistance side of Timor-Leste military. Like before, like yeah, like I think he served in the Indonesian military for 18 or like it's not 18, like I don't know, less than 10 years. And then after that, he joined Timorese military for the independence, to fight for the independence. So during my dad serving that period, like because like he serving the, because like my dad joined Timorese uh, military resistance force in 1998 or 1997. So during that time, my mom is the one who really take care of us because he would live in the jungle. He didn't live with us. So my mom is the one who is there to take care of us, take care of like 9 kids. So that was, I think that's the strongest thing. At the same time, because it was he lives, she lived in a very dangerous time because like you know having a husband that before he was in the Indonesian military now joining like at the time it's a rebellion to rebel Indonesia. So that was um, joined the military, Timorese military. It was really hard, but like my mom manages all, and yes, she's very strong. She is the one who uh, always uh, bring the soft side, brings out the soft side of us, the human side of us. Because my dad will be like, treat us as a robot, but my mom will come as a, you have to be human. Introduce dehumanize us. Yeah.
I admire both of them because your father is, like live in the jungle to fight for independence for a country, right? So it's a noble work to do. But your mom is going through all the hardship to not only raise the family, but also, send all the children to school and get education. And because I want to make sense of where your strength comes from, like from the planning, it seems like you have it from your father because, like planning to accomplish things in life is something that your father will be teaching you. And for being the soft side, seeing the needs, yeah, the support that other people needs in your country, the farmers needing, that probably where Claudia started to see, okay, she wants to help, people through her works, right? So that is a beautiful combination between the two. And then, and you have the end products of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I think like in when I grew up, it was like it's a pause right after the independence. So it was still a lot of things going on, but I'm really proud of my parents. Really work really hard to support all these children, like 9 children, to send them to school in a very hard situation. But they managed that. I'm really proud of them. Not only that, but like they really like introduce the value of how to have the country. Because like my dad always say that you know in our generation we we fight to get independence, but it's not done. The work just start beginning. So to the work just getting started. So in your generations, you have to work, like it's your time to help to develop the country from scratch. I know it's very hard. So I feel that kind of, responsibility from to bring on the legacy of my dad. I know like there are a lot of people who fight for this, for the country, for independence of the country, but my dad also kind of contribute to this, and I want to bring on like this legacy. He wants to independence, but now his children has to work in order to contribute to the development of the country, to build a nation. So I'm really glad that I'm part of this generation to build a nation from scratch. So I mean, there are a lot of things need to be done. So I hope that whenever I talk about the country is quite emotional. I mean, there are a lot of things need to be done here in Timor-Leste. So I hope that from whatever like I'm doing, the contribution that like we're doing right now through my just company and also Innovation Hub and whatever is it, can contribute to build the country as our founding fathers of the nation has dreamed of.
Wow, I see you're emotional right now because your dream is big, and you know there's a legacy that you carry on for your father. A part of that is the legacy that you are going to make for the next generation also in there. And let me know how we'll be able to support. I think that we have something that can offer from our ends here also, maybe the training, maybe the talking, the sharing, something, anything, Claudia, that if I can share to help your community, I would love to join and give it back to your community also, okay? I want to bring you to this execution thing because this is important. A lot of people see opportunity to support, to have in front of their eyes, a lot, right? And you know, I believe that there's a lot of people in your country also see that, oh, these farmers are needing help. These farmers, you know, we can help them to get better in life. But not a lot of people will go to the next step, which is execute, which is doing something, which is making a company that helping the farmers, right? So you took that next step, and that is scary, right? Because that is something that is totally new to you. Entrepreneurship is something not that challenging, right? In a country that evolving and growing is also challenging. You don't have a lot of resources back then. You have, you know, not a lot of experience also of running and manufacturing and something like that. But took the bold action decision to act and to make that action. So why did you summon all of that strength to do that, Claudia?
Oh wow! I think it took courage. I think that's very very interesting. I think I would say I did my, when I share my dream when I was young. I want to become geologist, to work in an oil and gas company. I don't want to do anything about entrepreneurship business at all. And then after that, I was doing biotechnology, which is like, it's in the science space. So, but I think that it's because of the social problem that here in Timor-Leste, the unemployment rate is really high. The farmers cannot access to the real market. I mean, to the sustainable and fixed market to sell their products. The poverty, the malnutrition, and then meanwhile, at the same time, like we are importing. Every year we spend millions of dollars to buy fruits, to buy juice, fruit juices from other country, and we have all these resources. Why don't we leverage this? Why don't we use this and produce so that we can consume these things? So I think like it's because of the trigger, the motivation is from the farmers that I met. Even though they so even they have all these challenges, but they never stop uh, trying to like dream, like to grow more the fruits. They never give up of what they're doing because they are really dependent on those things. Their income, their livelihood is very dependent on that. So if you don't really have these farmers, I really believe that their lives wouldn't improve. So if you want to do something to help them, so I talked to one of the things that I think it's one of the things that really changed my perspective was really one really pushed me to execute was I had a meeting with these farmers like in the southwest of the country. He was like, yeah, we go all of these things, we but there is no market. We just need market. If there is market, then we will sell more. Not only that, not only will sell more, and we will grow more, and at the same time we will help our children to go to school. So I think that is the motivation was like they really need this. So we started to work with like a few farmers and they were so happy. And I when we started buying fruits, first we started uh, with a pineapple. We buy pineapple from like a group of farmers. They were happy because they now finally we have a market for this. And then it's like, oh, I can't stop this. If I stop, if I give up, I know I got a lot of challenges. I mentioned that why we started like innovation hub because there are a lot of challenges when we started like the first businesses. At first, like I was with my partner, we were like, oh, I think this is too much. A lot of challenges. We want to give up. But if we give up, then these farmers will lose their premium. We cannot afford that. They were so happy when we buy their products. And not only that, if we give up, every time when I feel that I want to give up because of the challenges that I face, I look at the people that I work with.
Oh.
If I give up, how this young people, like I feel bad when they don't access to the job. I will feel bad if the farmers didn't access uh, to the market that they need. So I think it's because of those social problems. Those are the motivations. Those are the trigger. I think those are the I would say the energy that gives me so that like to uh, moving keep moving even though there are a lot of challenges. I believe that there will be a lot of opportunities out there. Even though if you pass this, I mean, entrepreneurship is hard, but it's really hard. But like, if you can do, I would say, if you want to do here in Timor-Leste, if you want to do business in Timor-Leste, if you're just thinking about the profit to get the instant profit, I think it's quite hard. But one thing that's really meaningful is like even though you're doing a very little things, but you can change someone's life. So it's a very simple. So I think that's really motivates me to keep moving. I guess to start executing. Yeah.
Okay, Claudia, I've been inside of you. You are built for hard work already. And your father, right? Your mother, they're all going through the hardship to raise you guys up. And so you've been seeing that every single day in your life at childhood. So, you know, anything that's hard is just another challenge for you to see opportunity where you can fix those. I don't think it's going to be any issue at all for you handling that. And especially when the country is going through this stage of developing, so there's absolutely there's a lot of challenges and absolutely there's a lot of opportunities in there also, right? And thank you for putting the soft sides of your mother onto the business equation to see that okay, a little change, a little change, a little change. And you know what? Business is all about people, right? If you have people do when they need it most, guess what? When they can have a better future, who they gonna think of? Who gonna think about? They're gonna think about you. because you've been there with them on day one, man. So thank you for doing that. And next is about raising the bars, right? So helping the farmer is hard already, and then raising the bar to help entrepreneurs. I think that's a beautiful journey because when you can help business startups or entrepreneurs on that journey, that could scale the business a lot more, the economy a lot more for a country. So a year ago, bring me to that moment. What triggered you to say, okay, Claudia is gonna open the Timor-Leste Innovation Hub? So,
Yes, that is. I know. I think like my probably it's because of like my upbringing. Or try like my dad is like you have to solve the problem. Cannot. So I think after like having like the first businesses, I started to realize and I talked to a lot of people like oh, we cannot access to the capital. I want to access to the resources. I want to, but someone has to do it.
mm,
So, and I started to like, putting lots. I was like, what are the missing? What are the gaps? I didn't identify the gaps here. What are the gaps here? And I was like, oh, access to the capital is one thing, and access to the training, like to the knowledge to do the business is one thing. And I believe that a lot of it's not only me. I think I believe that a lot of young entrepreneur, young people in Timor-Leste, they want to start a business, but because of the lack of the support, make them to hold back. So that's why we started Timor-Leste Innovation Hub. It's because of the just talking to these people, and I started to like, why do we have if imagine imagine a world, imagine in Timor-Leste. I started to imagine Timor-Leste if we have platform or a facility that can support the ecosystem, that can support this startup uh, to access to the capital, to the access to the knowledge. Not only that, access to the facilities of R&D to find their businesses. I think we can have more innovations. We can boost their startup. Not only will come up with a lot of innovative businesses in the Moleste. So I think it's true. It's true. It's because of the challenges, but I want to have like this images. Imagine we have this one, and then yeah, that's why we start. Like I started the Molest Innovation Hub, and my goal in the Molest Innovation Hub is like to have the businesses, but not only that. In that, we can boost more new businesses that come with the bold ideas because I really believe that in the Moleste. When I started Vera, when I was, I want to like, open, have my own juice manufacturing company. Some of the people, it's like, it's really hard. You're not going to achieve it. You're a woman. They will talk down on you. So I was like, and I don't want that. I don't want to hear, I don't want to other people to hear the same feedback when they want to share their dreams. So I want to create a platform where people, like young people, can come and share their ideas, and these people can help them to make it happen through training, through capital funding, and also through the facilities that they can help their ideas to make it happen. So that is why we start Molest Innovation Hub.
how many members do you have at the moment?
As of now, it's only like some of our friends. It's really new, so we're still like trying to uh, collaborate with other countries. Obviously, Timor-Leste Innovation Hub is the first model. It's a new model in Timor-Leste that we introduced. So we want to collaborate with people from ASEAN countries in Australia. So this I've been traveling to Australia to collaborate so that we can bring back some of the best practices to Timor-Leste. I believe that in Ho Chi Minh City, you have a lot of innovation hub there. So we wanted to go and explore and then bring back some of the best practices to do it here at Timor-Leste. It's very new actually. So it's only like we have our members now right now. We just sell to our like the colleagues, our business colleagues right now. So yeah.
Uh, uh, you know, if you look at everything, right, it's the hard thing is from 0 to 1. That's it. So now you started already, and you have the knowledge, you have the determination, you have the hard work, you have the people in there, you have a big dreams and goals that you want to accomplish, and it's all for the people around you, for a bigger goal, for a legacy. So you will get there. All right, you will get there. And so the next meeting, if you have for the group, and if you need any, you know, like motivation, any story share from a different perspective, different country, I would love to join and share some, you know, like insights on the NEWNESS framework that can help people to build a mindset to accelerate in the world full of changing today. Okay. And Claudia, you mentioned one word that I love hearing is the word I think. Okay. And the world is full of noises out there that is impacting our ability to think. And and my wife and I, for a very long time, we would love to help people to improve their ability to think, because that is where we see the transformation happen. If you think right, then you make better decisions, then maybe taking your life to a better place, right? And one of the best way for us to contribute helping people to think better is simply by asking the people who join in our interview to share their practice of thinking. So the big question we want to have for you, Claudia, is how have you been growing your ability to think over the years?
Oh, that is that's quite uh, that's very very interesting. I think you know when in terms of I'd love to say one of the things that you know the in terms of like focus on what you're doing, thinking like growing your thoughts. One of the things is like I choose to focus in what matters. I would say I think like I would say that like because a lot of when you want to start something, a lot of people come with the different thoughts. But if you really have a clear vision, if they don't, if those ideas, if cannot contribute to your long term vision, I'd love to listen to them. But like I'll as long as like you have like the clear thinking. So I would really want to focus on the outcome of the work that I do. So yeah, I think like it's quite difficult questions, but like I would focus on what matters and what can make me happy and other people. It contribute
Uh,
to the um, uh, my big goals. That can not only like for me but other people as well. I think that's what like really matters for me. Yeah.
I think that's also another way of doing, right? Because if you're not focusing on what's important, then you will do so many things at the same time, and at the end of that, nothing is accomplished. Nothing big will be accomplished. But if you focus your time, your resources, your energy uh, on things that are important in front of you, then we're starting to produce the result, and those results
Yeah.
will bring good impact on other people, right? And two last questions for this conversation, right? And the first one is, I'm gonna bring you to the moment when you're at ninth grade, when your father told you that you have to think about your future. You have to, otherwise he's not gonna support you when you grow up. You're gonna be on your own and stuff like that. So you were watching television when he came back home, right?
Mhm.
Yes. And now You and I will travel time. You and I will walk into that door. You and I gonna meet you back then and him back then. That very same room, okay? And you are going to tell him about the future, about something that you want to tell him and yourself back then. So what is that Claudia is gonna say to them then?
Oh, that is quite hard. I would say thank you for thank her for taking the initiative since very such a young age to think about the future. And I think we made it. We didn't really we didn't become the geologist. We became something else, and we have helped like a lot of people to because of you taking the initiatives. You took that initiatives to draw our theory of chains of life, our life DOC. That is why it's what I now we are already here. So there are a lot of work to be done, and I hope that now we are going to write other theory of change in another 10 years. So hopefully we can achieve that. So I would thank her, and Mrs. is brave in a very young age, and I don't know how she come up with that idea, but yeah, I think because of if she at that time, and I'm glad that I would thank my dad as well, because he told me that he wouldn't provide anything that I had at the time in 10 years. That's really like forced me to think. Um, about my future. So I would thank him. If he didn't say that, I would still watching television. I would still like miss all those moments. I didn't go to my room to study so that I can go to the best high school in the country and to become like this. Probably I take everything for granted. So I thank him. I would thank my dad for saying that to me, even though it was quite harsh for a young kid. But I would tell you, if he didn't say that, I wouldn't become what I am right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he has his way of sharing wisdom, right? Life is not easy. And for sure, his life is not easy. You know, he went through a lot
Yes.
of challenges in his life. So, I mean, that's the best way that he can pass a message, a piece of wisdom to you. Of course, with love, right? And now you start to see, you know, along the way, you start to see all of that seeds starting to build trees, starting to build flowers and blossoms. So beautiful. And the last question, and this is the project that we do for 2026. And then I want to ask you, um, you have a very different kind of backgrounds, right? And the beautiful about our journey is that we've been able to talk to different people who do different things. They want to contribute to the world in different ways, and if you look at the people you met, you know, if you look back at your journey, and if there's one skill that you think that very important that people need to learn and to master so that they can have a life of fulfilling, of a legacy, of doing something big for themselves and for others. So, Claudia, in your own word and perspective, what is that one skill that you think important that you want to share for other people?
Oh, I think I would say from my side, I would think like the skill of listening. It's
Listen.
it's very it's very simple. A lot of people think like they're like some of the people are sometimes I think like I'm a good listener, but sometimes I'm not too. So I think listen is very important. Listen because you will learn something new. It will change. Sometimes it will change your perspective towards something. If the communication is good, if you're a good listener, obviously you will have a better communications. You will you'll come up with the best ideas. So I think try to listen more. So it's I think with the skill that so it's something I'm still trained to have is listening. Listening is very important because according to me, it's because from that you will learn a lot of things. Because if you talk, sometimes you spend a lot of time in talking, but if you don't listen, because listen, you will learn new things. But when you talk, you're not gonna learn any new things. Listening is very important because in order to learn something new, change your perspective, change your have a new perspective of life, have new views, is from listening. If you're not good listener, if you don't listen to people, how can you have different new perspective? So we're gonna stuck in the same thing. So I think that listening is very important. It's where we build our relationship. It's where we build something that can provide impact, especially in the business. If you listen, you can create something that matters to your customers. You can build a culture in your company, a good culture in your company that can everyone feel that they're heard. You can, if you listen more, you can solve the problem, the real problem, not only the problem you think that you have to solve, but the real problem that the society is facing. I think listening is very, very important to me. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I believe listening is essential, it's very important. And I think the word is a lot of noise because a lot of people are talking and not truly learning how to listen. But if you can tune down a little bit to give time and to start to listen a lot more, uh, then perhaps we will build better relationship. Perhaps we will also change the way that we think about human, about business, about the world inside of us, about the world outside of us, and that probably the one of the best way to make our world a better place. There will be
Yes.
less of conflicts, less of fighting, less of doing things that are non-essential because now we know what's important for us and for the people around us. So Claudia, thank you so much for having this beautiful
Thank
conversation.
you so much.
And
Thank
I look
you.
forward to see you in December. And let's
Mhm.
email each other to share the plan. And definitely, I would love to see you in person when you come here. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
I'm feel honored. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.